The Secrets of TV is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit GiveStarQuest.com.
Citizens of New York, we survived. Together. But the thin blue line is broken. I will not allow you to live in fear, though. I am enacting my Safer Streets initiative. Curfew is at 8 p.m. And in the immediate future, New York City is under martial law. But never forget, I love you, New York.
You're listening to The Secrets of Television. I'm Jeff Haecker, and we are taking a closer look at the stories behind the stories, exploring the themes, characters, and hidden meanings in the shows everyone's watching and the classics worth remembering. And joining me today is Rob Leonardi. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Jeff.
And Patrick Mason. Hey, Pat.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Howdy, Jeff.
All right. So, as you probably know, this episode will be covering the second season, first episode of Daredevil Born Again. So you may remember our first episode last week covered the first season of Dune Prophecy. However, some shows we will cover week by week on this podcast. So our first weekly show that we will cover is Daredevil Born Again. So every week we'll be diving deeper and going episode by episode to get into all the details. But this week we are covering the premiere, The Northern Star. But before we do that, I figured I'd give a brief recap of last season in case it's been a while and you haven't rewatched, before we give the recap of episode 1 of season 2. So the recap of season 1 is after the events of the blip and the death of his friend Foggy Nelson, Matt Murdock has retired from being Daredevil. Wilson Fisk has returned to public life and is elected the mayor of New York. Both engage in the hunt for a serial killer named Muse, and Matt dons the suit again, while Fisk creates an anti-vigilante task force that he sends after Daredevil, leading to martial law in New York. Matt, teaming with Frank Castle, the Punisher, learns that Fisk wants to use a piece of coastline as his own personal shipping operation that is not part of New York or the U.S. Matt survives and recruits his own team to stand against Fisk, while Matt's girlfriend, Heather, or ex-girlfriend, also joins Fisk's administration, and Angela Ayala, the vigilante White Tiger's niece, takes up his mantle. All right, and so season 2 begins with a ship, the Northern Star, coming into New York, which Daredevil in a cool black suit has infiltrated. He finds military weapons on board, proof of Fisk's smuggling operation. He hears the sounds of the ship being scuttled and escapes as it is sinking. The captain and the first mate also escape. He returns to his hideout where Karen is training, and it is revealed they have started another romantic relationship. The wrecked ship is blocking the port entrance, and Fisk declares it a terrorist attack by Daredevil and orders increased efforts to hunt him and Karen. Heather Glenn meets with Jack Duquesne, the swordsman, in prison, but is haunted by her memories of Muse and threatens Jack. Kirsten, Matt's law partner, is defending Jack at trial, and the New York City DA arrives to get Kirsten to plead out on the Duquesne case and come back to work for him. The task force captures and tortures the captain looking for the first mate as they can link the ship to Fisk, and Buck kills him. Mr. Charles from the CIA joins the Fisks for dinner, telling him that if Fisk's men salvage the weapons, he will have to eliminate them, or Mr. Charles can arrange for it with other people. Karen meets with B.B. Ulrich, who is using Daniel as an inside source. The DA calls Heather to ask about falsifying Jack's assessment for the trial. And Cherry, the former detective and investigator with the law practice that Matt used to work for, while looking into the first mate, is assaulted by the task force in his home, but Matt shows up to stop them. Cherry starts to have heart pains as more of the task force arrives. Matt is distracted by the sound of Cherry's heart and is taken down by the task force, who unmasks him, but the task force in turn are taken out by Bullseye. All right, so I'll start with your first impressions. So, Rob, what was your impression of this episode, this premiere?
Zoinks! Oh, wrong Matthew Lillard. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good setup. I enjoyed the character that Matthew Lillard's playing. I think he's kind of sneaky. I'm interested to see exactly where that's going to play out. I enjoy the setup that they are doing a good bridge between first season and now, where you're getting the fallout of the task force and everything that they're doing, but then behind the scenes you get, in there's the fake BB report where you have the fake Fisk and you see the real things that are kind of mimicking real life in a sense. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a really good setup.
Awesome. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, it's definitely a setup episode for the whole season, right? So this ship becomes the center focus, not just of the episode, but likely it's going to be at least the next 3 episodes, if not the whole season, I'm guessing. And it's just a setup of what the power is, where it's in motion, and what Daredevil and his crew of ne'er-do-goods are ne'er-do-well. I don't know. Ne'er-do-evils. I don't know. Either way, they're opposite of ne'er-do-wells. Are doing in this city of lockdown. It's interesting. It's an interesting piece in the Marvel universe. I think the question in my mind is always, kind of where is the wider, Avengers group or people, and what are they all doing during all of this, and what's Spider-Man doing, and all of that. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, good start.
Yeah, I have some space on here to talk about how Spider-Man and other things might connect. But yeah, no, overall, I really loved the premiere. I thought it was a great setup for the season. It wasn't a ton of action, but you had, the action scene at the start, and then you had the action scene kind of at the very end, but, just kind of giving us a little taste of I think what's to come. I thought it was a lot of good plot lines and other things. Other things kind of setting up a lot of, they picked up a lot of threads from the last season, and there are some that may or may not be picked up, and we'll just have to see what happens in the in the show. So no, overall I did really like it. And I wanted to kind of start with just mentioning, because and I have to assume this is somewhat intentional, that the North Star, the name of the Northern Star is the name of the ship. And if you remember, if you saw Daredevil season 3 on Netflix, North Star is, I think, a reference to Bullseye, because, he's basically, he was told by his therapist as a kid that his moral compass is not broken. It just requires a strong North Star. So, and we see Bullseye coming in at the end, and, in season 3 of Daredevil, his North Star went from his therapist as a kid to this lady he worked for at I think it was a suicide hotline, and then eventually to Fisk. So he has a history of aligning to good people and bad people who kind of become his moral center. So I just have to point it out because it was the name of the episode. And when I saw the title, I was like, that I immediately thought of that. So all right. Well, I figure I kind of have a kind of character by character here, but what did y'all think of Matt in this episode? He's fighting a one-man battle seemingly, because I think later on we can talk about where's the rest of his, anti-Fisk people. But, he's basically, at least fighting wise, seems like he's one man against Fisk. But he's wearing a cool black suit while doing it. So what did y'all think of Matt in this episode? Just his whole kind of arc of fighting, and then, kind of still trying to take down Fisk. That's been his goal for a long time.
Who's Matt? I saw a guy named Daredevil. I think he's basically, at this point, he's not. He does have a little bit of interaction as Matt Murdock. He has the relationship he's got. He has the conversation he has with the old police officer buddy that he's using for his Fisk task force. And, he has that conversation with the woman who owns the Russian restaurant, the unclear Eastern European country restaurant. But for the most part, he's basically Daredevil at this point. He's quote unquote missing. He's not being a lawyer. he's not at his firm. He's not doing his quote unquote day job, which he was doing most of season 1 and through quite a bit of the Netflix series. So he's gone full blown underground Daredevil. And I think that's kind of taken a toll on him. He seems a little rough and beaten up. And I think in the fight scenes, especially, he's kind of unhinged.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He just very, very violent.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that has come from he lost Foggy in that fight in season 1 with Bullseye, Bullseye killed Foggy, and then he had that fight, and that's kind of what led him to retiring from the vigilante life for a while, because he crossed the line of thinking he might have killed Bullseye, but Bullseye has a cybernetic back, so he's okay. He was okay. Yeah, no, he seems like he's in a rough spot, but I mean, he and Karen are together. So that's, they've kind of had an on again, off again thing for a while. I don't know that they were, if I'm remembering, I don't remember if they were ever fully like, Facebook official, like calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, but they would go on they'd go on a few dates and they'd be,
I mean, he had She-Hulk,
yeah.
Well, okay. All right. So I only watched the first season of the Netflix show. And in that one, they're not like, I don't remember them being, in fact, I remember her and Foggy maybe having a relationship. Am I foggy on that one?
No, you're right. They were, her and Foggy were kind of flirting. I think it's in season 2 that Matt and Karen kind of become a thing a little bit, because after season 2 you have the Defenders, and then he goes missing. At the end of that, in season 3,
you have Elektra too.
Yeah, Elektra was back in season 2. So yeah, I think it was a season 2 thing where they were kind of starting to, because Fisk was in prison, and
I thought they kept it kind of platonic because it was a love triangle, and they just didn't want to.
I mean, they went on. They were kind of starting to date a little bit. Like they went on some dates, and but yeah, so I'm curious to see if this is kind of is it a relationship of like, a kind of a battlefield relationship? You're in the trenches together, and because I don't have her separately on here, but she's doing her thing. Like she's working sources, she's having dead drops of intelligence thing and things like that.
And she's the one that's contacting Jessica Jones and is able to get. I mean, I love how they just dropped Jessica Jones in this first episode, and it's like, oh yeah, she's working with us, and even though she's not, you don't see her character, she's clearly here and available. It's just like, that's awesome.
Well, I didn't pick up that Jessica was in the episode, but I think it's definitely she's going to be.
Jessica Jones provided information about like who the passenger or who the first shipmates were.
Was that Jessica? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed. Did they say Jessica, or was it just kind of heavily implied?
He said Jess.
Okay.
It's real. Like if you blink, you missed. The first time I watched it,
obviously
missed it.
I did. Because she's going to be in the episode. In the season. She was in the trailer. So yeah. So
I do wonder about their relationship, because they have that conversation, and she basically asks him about does he wish for the old times at all, and he's Daredevil now, so he's just thinking forward, right? Get Fisk, right? He's just 100% on that, and that's kind of what he expresses. And he asks her, does she? And she's like, every day I wish we could go back to Foggy being here. And it's just a very different take on things, because you can tell at this point he is kind of, in the full blown sort of revenge kind of space, whereas she's more in the restitution. Like, I wish we could make things like they were, or at least bring things back to normal.
Yeah. The whole idea of them having a relationship is a little worrisome, because in the comics, Bullseye kills her when they have a relationship.
He sure does.
So,
yeah. I mean, if they kill Karen, I think that would go very dark. And they've already killed Foggy. They did. Yeah. And will they go even darker?
Be very Andor of them.
Yeah.
Totally kill everybody off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we have, of course, Fisk is still, kingpinning it up. He's he's running his illegal shipping operation that we learn has ties to the CIA, it seems. They don't explicitly say CIA, but they say Mr. Charles is from Langley. So, if they had said he's from the company, then that would have been very overt clue. But he's I think it's strongly implied he's with the CIA or some kind of, one of those organizations. So
okay. Fill me in on this. Fisk at some point is in charge of a group of CIA people.
FBI, but yes.
Oh, FBI. Okay.
Yeah, that's what season 3 is. He basically, because in season 2 he's in prison, and then he basically just in season 3 creates a shadow task force.
It's a task force like he did with in season 1, but it was the FBI. Now he's just copying and pasting what he did with the FBI with NYPD.
Yeah, well, except in the season 3, he was still under house arrest technically, but he basically worked it and got dirt on everyone and basically made them work for him, or he would kill their families or whatever. But so in name he was in prison, he was under house arrest, but in reality he was running, this task force and was basically he was feeding them intel to take out his rivals, like basically using the FBI to take out his rival, criminal gangs, unless they paid tribute to him. And then it took in season 3, Matt basically, he saved his life and basically threatened Vanessa going to prison if Kingpin, I think he went to prison. Yeah, he went to prison again, I believe, at the end of season 3. And then there's the break because we don't see him again till Hawkeye.
Okay.
But
okay, so this Charles character is completely new. It's just not somebody from his past.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
or it's just Shaggy with a nice haircut.
Yes.
It's a multiversal Shaggy.
Yeah. Who can shoot like 9 whiskeys in when he gets a phone call. It's completely coherent.
Yeah. So what did y'all think of Kingpin in this? Fisk and Kingpin? He's still kind of playing that double role of he's the mayor that's going to fix it, and he has BB, or I guess BB through Daniel, or Daniel is using BB to kind of spread this pro Fisk propaganda, and then it's also seemingly she's releasing kind of her dark web videos against Fisk and about his operation. So, what did y'all think of Fisk in this episode?
He's not a good guy.
Are you sure?
Could be bad guy, but you don't have to be bad guy.
He's just a character that you love to hate. I mean, he is such a good actor, and it's a good character, but he's not a good guy.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio he's amazing as Kingpin. Like, I listened to the official podcast for the first episode, and there weren't a lot of major reveals, but it was him and Charlie Cox. And Vincent D'Onofrio sounds completely different, like in his normal voice. So he's like, he can like, it's just amazing how, and he does. And when he's Fisk, he doesn't look like himself either, really. So I know it's, so they can do a lot of good things with makeup and hair and stuff, but
see what he looked like back when he did Law and Order, like
or in he was in Men in Black too. He was Edgar, I believe.
Oh yeah, he was the bug guy.
Yeah. So
he looked really different when he was a bug alien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good actor.
Yeah. I feel like he really wasn't in this episode very much. This was a lot of stuff going on kind of around. Like, he set the stage in the whole of the last season and kind of put all the pieces in place, and now it's just sort of playing out. And as far as I could tell, he doesn't do a whole lot in this episode other than, okay, the ship sank and I need to, pin it on Daredevil. Like, and that's, and he's playing up the whole I wear white and now Daredevil's in a black suit. So it's all gray.
Do you think Daredevil did that on purpose?
I know. I feel like maybe the costuming department did.
I think
it's hard for me to say the blind man picked a color.
Yeah. I think they just were like new season, new suit.
It's definitely better than the yellow.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, new season, new suit. That's, or it's like every movie, every show, like they have to get a suit upgrade. So,
I mean, I've dealt with spreadsheets from people who are colorblind with like it'll be like yellow and magenta, like for the highlighting because it's just for them it's just different colors of gray, and for me it's like my eyes are bleeding. So yeah. I don't know why he chose black. I got to be honest. I mean, I guess it's sort of useful. I feel like gray would be a better blend-in color for a city, but
I mean, he's doing a lot of work at night, though. I think that's also he's blending into the shadows.
Yeah.
Well, he did, because in season 1 of Daredevil, the Netflix, he didn't get the suit till the end, and he was wearing basically a black getup as a ninja costume, and then he kind of put the same getup on again in season 3 when he and then Bullseye took on the role of Daredevil. So, put on the Daredevil suit. But I think in this episode it's like you said, it's just a lot of setup, but I think we're gonna see like he's got his fingers in every pie. He's the kingpin, he's running everything.
Is those big sweeping motions of what he says is done, and we saw that just when in the opening sequence of his office, where he's just, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen. Oh hey, this random guy's coming in.
Yeah.
That now is that really going to happen? Like he's just kind of arrogant.
Yeah. Well, because in that scene, because it's the New York State Attorney General comes to basically confront Fisk over his extreme sentences, and he says, we have to be involved.
And the deputy mayor,
the governor, lieutenant governor.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Deputy governor.
He says we've got to be involved. We got to have insight. You're going to have a lot of oversight, and then in comes Matthew Lillard eating a donut or snack or whatever he's eating.
I think it was Euros.
It's a Euro.
Euro
King.
Yeah, and
yes, Euro King.
And then the AG gets a call, and Mr. Charles says, "You're going to want to answer that." And then presumably they have his family and are going to kill his family if he doesn't fall in line with Fisk.
It's Miss DeFontaine.
Yeah.
Because he says that, yeah.
So, he does. Okay, I missed that too. Yeah, yes. I was going to say, I was thinking Mr. Charles was allied with Valentina, and that
he definitely is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because the lieutenant governor is like, yes, we will cooperate. Thank you, Miss DeFontaine.
Okay.
But then at that point, that also brings in the new Avengers. With a Z.
Yeah.
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 Yes. Well, they're also in New York.
Yeah. Who isn't in New York?
So where are they?
Right,
Everybody's in New York.
In New York all the time. And that's the thing. Like that's the problem with the whole martial law and vigilante thing, because like the new Avengers with the Z, I guess they don't wear masks. Well, the Red Guardian does. I'm trying to think if anybody else.
Yeah,
but they all know who they are.
Yeah,
and that's the key.
Yeah, but I think too. So I think that there's a little bit of timeline, wibbly wobbliness going on.
Timey-wimey.
This is not Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, no, but I think Thunderbolts in the timeline is the latest thing that's kind of like in the.
Oh, I see what you mean.
In the timeline, like obviously not chronologically release order.
Right.
In real life, but I think
so. This season is before.
I think so. I think somewhere around there, because we're also going to see. I think maybe after this season is when the Thunderbolt stuff will happen, because I have it on here in a little bit to talk about the Spider-Man trailer, because Spider-Man's in New York.
A big spoiler for this series.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get there, but. We also have part of his plan is he's got to find the captain and the first mate of the ship, because they can link Fisk to the ship. Even though I don't know why. I mean, nobody seems to care what Fisk is doing, even with all the information out there, and so I don't know that that's that big of a a risk, but they have to juice the drama for it. But his anti-vigilante task force does capture the captain. So, and is, tortured and killed. And he shows up trying to help the first mate, who he shows up at the restaurant later. The first mate does. So, we'll see where that goes. But
so, we bring up the torture of the captain, right? He gets tortured by the anti-vigilante task force.
Yeah.
AVTF. Which is plastered over pretty much every cop in the city has that now on their body armor, which they're wearing at all times, which I don't know if you've ever worn armor, but it gets cumbersome after a while. If you're not used to wearing it all the time, it's kind of backbreaking. But so there's this scene though where Book comes in and he sort of handles it, right? He tells the captain, that can be arranged. The captain says, I just want to go home. I did what I was told. I just want to go home. And Book says, well, that can be arranged. And then walks behind him and says, the worst part about this is that, like, none of this is your fault. And then shoots him in the back of the head. And then he has this scene where it pans out and he's standing in this sort of warehouse-ish room space with the dead body. And he is in this spotlight, right? And he's kind of, he sighs and he looks up into the light like he's regretting and then rethinking, like, what am I even doing at this point? And then sighs again and turns and walks away. And you get this very real sense that maybe Book is not on board with this as much as he used to be anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's getting tired of having to do this kind of work.
Yeah. And you're saying
I felt like that for a bit now, but he keeps on doing it.
Yeah, and also you're saying Book, and I've been watching Firefly, and I keep thinking it's
Shepherd Book.
It's Buck, I think.
Is it Buck? Oh, it's Buck.
Yeah, it's Buck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it is Buck.
Is Buck a comic character that we know of, or is he kind of a character for the show, or do we know? I didn't know if y'all had ever. I'm not very deep on the comics. I'm more I watch the stuff.
I don't remember his character.
Okay.
He is a comic book character.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
He also goes by, ironically, as Bullet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know if he's kind of one that's going to kind of become eventually a, one who turns on Fisk and one who kind of opens the door for Daredevil and group to go in and beat Kingpin. So, but yeah, and then later too, Mr. Charles joins the Fisks for dinner, and speaking of killing people and and the task force, Wilson's he wants his task force to get the weapons, but Mr. Charles is like, you could do that, but then then they have to go away.
Yeah,
so
I have to kill everybody.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay,
yeah. So Mr. Charles, says he will have that handled for them, because so yeah, and also I think a connection too that shows that it's before Thunderbolts. Valentina was a CIA director at the start of Thunderbolts, but by the end of it, I think she was basically ousted from the CIA. So I think that's another sign that this is pre-Thunderbolts. And then yeah, we get to the we also touch on BB working Daniel as a source, and Daniel's just kind of an oblivious
I feel so
guy.
sorry for him. I'm going to predict it right now. He's going to die by the end of the season by the hands of Fisk.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna make it
unless my prediction from the last time we did Daredevil is true, and he's actually Fisk's son. Like, even if even if he is, he's going to die. And if he's not going to die, he's going to end up in prison, or both.
Yeah, if Fisk finds out he's kind of BB's inside source, because why? Yeah, Daniel's just he should know that BB's working him, but he's just too oblivious and high on him. Yeah, he's a, what is he, a deputy mayor of?
He's the deputy mayor now. Yep,
or a deputy mayor. I guess I think there's multiple.
But again, he was not in the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So
I think the question mark is, when is Fisk going to figure out what BB's doing, right? And because I think, I don't know about you guys, but I think the fake Kingpin ad that happens in the middle is also BB.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like she's doing both of them, and
she has his voice down perfectly.
Yes, way better than me. But I don't think Fisk is going to be the one that figures out. I think it's going to be Fisk Jr. Or whoever he ends up being. And I think that's going to be the drama point, is who is he going to side with? Is he going to side with Fisk and turn her in? Or is he going to side with her? And I don't know. I don't know how they're going to play it.
If he sides with the good, then he should be in the Spider-Man trailer.
I mean, not necessarily.
But he's not the one giving out the key to the city.
But if he goes to prison or something, if he's taken down, then
which means he stayed on the bad side.
But I mean, even if he,
or he went into hiding. Okay, he could go into hiding. I'll give him that. But he's just going to die. Yeah,
I mean, you still like even if you can get a lesser sentence if you by giving information. Doesn't mean you get out of prison.
He'll have to go into like witness protection. Like, I don't know.
So we'll see what happens there, because BB is one of Karen's sources. So, and then we get to jump to kind of the final scene of Cherry doing the investigating of, well, no, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about Heather. I skipped over Heather. So she is not doing well.
She's not at all.
She's seeing the ghost of Muse, and she's meeting with Jack in a black site prison, and decides to falsify his answers, and that he sees, I think one of them was like, I see demons, or I hear voices, and I listen to what they tell me, and questions like that.
Evil spirits tell me what to do, if I remember right.
Yes, yeah.
So
true or false?
He hears voices in his head. They counsel him. They talk to him. They understand.
Okay, Randy Orton. RKO out of nowhere.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, so I'm curious to see, because I mean, she was on the good side, I think, last season until the very end, and she's basically on that slippery slope down. So like, she's not doing well, and I'm curious to see what, does she come back to the light, through Matt, or does she finally realize that maybe I shouldn't, falsify these statements and get people staying in prison and black sites and stuff.
See, and the whole arc with her from last season, this season, is kind of confusing to me a little bit, because of the fact that you have Muse, and that's what she's PTSDing about. But yet Daredevil is what's kind of saved her from Muse, and that turned her to anti-Daredevil, anti-vigilantes, even though it was the vigilante that saved her, unless she's thinking that Muse was a vigilante as well for some reason.
I think it's that they both wear a mask, and because she was like, had a book. She was trying to write a book, or had a book or something about when people wear masks, they have something to hide. So she was already kind of anti like vigilante already. And I think the trauma of it, she's equivocating mask with bad, even though she, Daredevil did save her life. Like if Matt, like I think it's kind of one of those, it kind of goes back to just making me think of in Age of Ultron, Vision talking about, when beings of power step forward, people come forward to challenge that power. So I think it's kind of one of those things of, it's not the exact quote, but I think it's kind of one of those things that she's believing that because someone wore a mask and was out fighting crime, that people think it's okay to do that. It's kind of like the Batman thing too, like, Batman has to wear a bat mask to fight a clown. It's kind of like, raising the stakes, like, in kind of upping the ante. So I think at least that's where she's coming from there.
Yeah, it was, that was covered in Watchmen pretty well. It's, the bad guys started wearing masks first. And so then we started wearing them because they were wearing them, kind of a thing. It's very clear she's got PTSD, right, from the encounter, because that's what she's flashing back to. And Muse. It's very interesting cinematography wise. They have her shot at typical right angles until she enters that space, and it'll tilt. It'll go to the Dutch angle on her. And they'll also bring in kind of the string Jokerish sort of music if you go back and watch The Dark Knight and the amazing music from that show. So, they do a lot of that with her. It's very interesting, the second interaction or the second scene she's in with her, where it does that. And she's speaking with the DA, right? And he makes this side comment about we should really get a drink sometime. And then we see her pouring herself a glass of vodka on ice and taking a pretty solid drink from it, in order to get herself over the moral quandary of falsifying this guy's records in order to, put him away. Ultimately, she's letting the trauma drive her actions and not, thinking clearly. And I think they do a very good job of doing that, of showcasing that with both the cinematography and the music at the same time.
Yeah, that was very good, the way they did that, and which helped me understand that she was having PTSD, because as someone with amphitasia, I can't have PTSD.
Huh.
So, yeah, I was like, oh, he's back. And then I'm like, what's going on? Oh, that must be PTSD. So,
yeah. And interesting enough, they use the Dutch angle a couple more times in the show. And one of them is when Daredevil's on the screen, when Matt's talking, or, Daredevil at this point. He's talking.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got his own trauma, and so does almost everybody in the show. They have trauma they have not dealt with.
And they're all trauma bonding with each other.
Except for Fisk. He got healed by Echo.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the trauma anymore. So he's the most mentally well person apparently on the show.
Him? He's the most mentally stable in you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then we, so jumping back to the end, Matt had met with Cherry to try to tell him, we need to find the first mate so that, because he's the clue that can link to Fisk. So, I mean, I guess they want to get him out of New York so that he can, go to a federal court and testify or something along those lines. So Cherry's in his apartment or in his home doing research, and then the task force breaks in because they know he's a known associate of Daredevil. So,
well, I don't think that's why they break in. I think they break in because he's looking into all these cases of all the people who have been taken into the Freeport, whatever, dead zone, prison with no escape. No laws.
That's because Matt met with him and asked him to do that.
No. That's because Matt's law firm, which is now being run by the one lady, gave him all those files to look into, because she's basically taking anybody who's being affected by this,
the anti-vigilante laws.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the Safer Streets Initiative.
Yeah.
In a negative way. With the caveat that these people just disappear, right? Which is somewhat problematic for a free society.
Yeah.
Just somewhat.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's both and. Like, he is working the cases for the law firm, but I think too, because Fisk knows who Matt is. He knows Daredevil is Matt. And it's a little bit unclear to me why he's not plastering Matt Murdock's face all over everywhere. And I think maybe it's just because nobody would believe a blind man can be Daredevil, but
it would make him look crazy.
Well, yeah.
Well, that, and it, he saved him, right? Matt Murdock saved him.
That's true. Yeah. Well, because in season 1, Cherry was part of the plan to get the informant to the courthouse that was going to testify on behalf of Hector Ayala. he was gonna. So I think the task force knows about Cherry. They know he's because he's a former detective too, so they know he's kind of on that side. So I think it was kind of probably some of both. Is the reason. Well,
even before they break in, they're like, "Come on, Jerry, we don't want to have to do this." But then they break in and just beat him up.
Yeah. No,
it's like if you didn't want to do that, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. So I think it's some of both. I think they know he's an associate of Daredevil. Maybe hinted at information filtered by Fisk down. Plus, they know he's working against them in the law firm. So, but yeah, Matt. They punch him, and then unfortunately he gets punched right in the chest, and it starts some heart problems for him, and Matt shows up too, but then he's distracted by hearing Cherry's heart,
bringing him back to Foggy's.
Exactly, and it leads to Foggy, or leads to Matt they take him down and they take his mask off, and I thought I thought they were going to take Matt in, and that was going to be like that was going to kind of be a setup for the next episode, that Daredevil's unmasked and in public, and they know they can take him to send him to prison or whatever. It was kind of going to be a reverse of what happened to Fisk, that Matt's going to go to prison, but he's some shots come through and take out everybody, and I thought for a second it was going to be Punisher.
Yep,
because he basically escapes at the end of you don't know. For sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, he does. Well, he's going to have his own TV special and be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he has to escape. But yeah, I thought it was Punisher for a second, but then, the Bullseye knife comes flying in. So
you're welcome.
Yeah. So what did y'all think
of that? It's on the wrong
scene?
side. How can he read that?
Well, it's carved in, so he'll have to feel it, but,
Wait, yeah, he can't see it. What am I thinking?
Yeah, but what did y'all think of that scene and that that ending to the first episode?
I mean, you have all of the emotion with Cherry having a heart attack. You have Daredevil getting unmasked and beat up. Then all of a sudden, you have this rescue coming in, and you have it being Bullseye of all people, right? And it's like, why? What is going on? Why would Daredevil and Bullseye team up? Okay, Fisk, awesome, but is that going to end up with Karen Page biting the dust? Like something. It's a really good setup. I really enjoyed how they did it. A lot of high emotions in it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read the song that was playing by Carol Thomas, written in 1960. Called Gee Whiz. It's Gee Whiz, look at his eyes. Gee Whiz, how they hypnotize. He's got everything a girl could want. Man, oh man, what a prize. Gee Whiz, he's all the joy. Gee Whiz, I could find in a boy. He's awful nice, it's paradise. I hope I'm not his decoy. Heaven up above knows how much I love that fella's soul. Angels sing of a love like this. I hope our love will grow and grow. 'Cause gee whiz, I love that guy. Gee whiz, my oh my. There are things we could do. I could say I love you, but all I can say is gee whiz. Like, I think they just wrote the scene to that song. wrote the whole episode to that song, basically, and then played it at the very end, because it very much flows through the theme that we get, the relationship between Matt and Karen, the relationship between Fisk and his wife, the devil playing for heaven, while wearing all black with the red emblem on, and the man in white having full control over the city. It's all this very much, I'm not gonna say kind of apocalyptic style setup, but that's on a citywide scale, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, and then we're at the end here. So, do y'all have any? I have to throw it out there because Cherry's going to need medical care and someone who's sympathetic to Matt, and because he's probably gonna, if Cherry goes to the hospital, he's probably not. He's probably going to be turned away because he'll be flagged in their system. So I'm wondering, could this be where we get Claire from the Netflix series coming in, because she was night nurse in that series? Or is there
I don't
another
think she's
medical
coming.
person that might show up to treat Cherry?
I don't think she's coming back. I feel like
Probably
that actress,
not, but I just have to say it.
Yeah, no, and, like it would be great if she did. I think that would be great. I honestly, I would love to see her back, but I don't think she'll be coming back. I think that either Cherry's going to croak or he's going to end up in the hospital and or both.
Hear me out on this. Doctor Strange.
I think that would be a little bit too strange.
He's in New York. He's
not.
A medical
Yes,
doctor.
He's in a different multiverse right now.
He is possibly in New York and somewhere else at the same time. I mean, he's got 3 eyes right now. Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. Still a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just had to throw it out there because they're,
He's a heart surgeon too, but
or is he
no,
a
it's
brain
not going
surgeon?
to work.
No, he's a brain surgeon. Is he
Yeah.
a
Brain surgeon. That's what
I
the
think
brain
he's a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon. That's
Yeah.
right.
They're all the same. No, they're not. They're very much not.
We just got a thumbs down on that comment.
All right. Well, do we have any, any predictions for the rest of the season that you want to call out? You know, we know Jessica Jones will be showing up, but do we think there will be any other defenders such as Luke Cage or Iron Fist? I don't think Iron Fist, at least in that version, but because it was not a good series, but
I didn't watch it.
you didn't. I mean, this second season was better, but you didn't miss much.
You didn't miss much. Okay. I think obviously White Tiger has to show back up.
Yeah, and I think she's in the season. I think she's cast in the season.
She already was shown peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Very brief scene. Yeah. To a couple of AVTF officers doing bad stuff. Because that's all they do. Except in the very beginning where that one girl high fives the AVTF officer.
Yeah. I mean, they got to play it up, right? Make it look good. But I think the White Tiger is going to show up. You have Jessica Jones showing up. I don't see it being... if they were going to do like a Defenders sort of thing, I feel like they would go towards more of a Defenders season rather than Daredevil season, personally. But at the same time, we got Civil War that happened, and that was a lot of characters in one movie that wasn't an Avengers movie. So I think you're going to have a handful of people. I know Punisher's not going to be in this. I highly doubt Spider-Man's going to be in this, although that would be awesome. But...
yeah, I mean that's how Daredevil started, or it was kind of a build up to the Defenders. So I mean, they could be doing that here on. They could be doing it again.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll.
Defenders Born Again.
Yeah. Yeah. Defenders 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Defenders with a Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Defenders.
I mean, there's been some talk, some speculation that Daredevil will end up in the in Secret Wars and Doomsday, and I mean, those are going to basically have every character ever, so you may as well throw them all in there. But any predictions for you, Pat, for this season?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a cameo from a major other Marvel every episode. It'll be Doctor Strange, the Hulk will come in, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi will show up, or Wong. It'll be Wong.
She-Hulk.
Honestly,
She-Hulk.
I think it'd be hilarious if Wong showed up in the background.
Wong's too busy trying to get his own television show.
Right. Well, it's just every episode he's like somewhere in the back. He's that, he's like Long Dog from Bluey. Like you can point him out. Hey, that's Wong, kind of a thing. No, I'm very curious as to how this is all going to play out and how they're going to explain the other New Yorker superhumans and what they're doing through all of this. Since this is sort of like over and above the Sokovia Accords. And so how is that
because the Sokovia Accords are gone now.
Yeah.
Are they?
I think they basically disbanded them in the
yes.
Yeah,
I think that was talked about in Thunderbolts, how that the Sokovia Accords was abolished.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I figure like post blip and then they would have to come up with some new framework for how superhumans are supposed to interact with society. But maybe that's going to be another whole thing again.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and season 3 of Daredevil is filming now, so there will be at least one more season of it, and hopefully more. Hopefully we, what I really want is them to do a Jessica Jones season, because the first season of her show on Netflix is, I think, one of the best seasons of the Netflix Defenders verse. Like, I think the later season weren't as good, but the first season was incredible. So
I don't know if they're going to do that because of how sexual Jessica Jones's stuff is.
Maybe, but this is, it's rated MA,
yes,
and
yes,
and She-Hulk, Daredevil and She-Hulk kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
But that wasn't as explicit as Jessica Jones was.
No.
Jessica Jones, that was a lot of blue material.
Well, we'll see. But, and then, just to have, because it recently, came out, and we've, just to talk about the logistics of the podcast, next week, Daredevil's airing 2 episodes because there's going to be a Punisher one-shot kind of hour-long special presentation on May 12th. So they're doing 2 Daredevil episodes so that they can have Daredevil be over before that. And we are going to cover both episodes next week on this. So,
and we're covering the Punisher season or
I don't know.
episode 2, right?
Maybe. TBD.
I'm throwing my hat in the ring for that one.
Well, I don't know. It's called One Last Kill, and Punisher's not not necessarily very,
also not terribly family friendly.
Yeah. So
for different reasons.
Yeah. We'll see on that. But just to throw it to the Spider-Man trailer of it all, because that came out and Frank Castle is in that. Will Daredevil also appear? Because he was Peter's lawyer in was it
No Way Home?
No Way Home, yeah.
No Way Home. Yeah, but he doesn't remember Peter.
He won't, right?
He was Peter's lawyer before the
spell.
Whatever. Yeah, Doctor Strange spell.
Yeah. But we could see either that spell coming undone, or we could see, them re-meeting again and kind of starting over, because they are kind of linked in the comics sometimes, that they kind of team up and Spider-Man fights Kingpin a bunch.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that in the Netflix Daredevil show, which is mostly canonical to this, the Hand was a major antagonist. So, and the Hand
Elektra's going to show up again. That's my thing.
She could. Because the Hand is in Brand New Day. So I don't know. I know there's already a lot going on in that movie, but I
Who's
felt
the Hand?
They were the ninjas in Daredevil. That
the in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, how they had the foot.
Yes,
it's because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a direct copy of Daredevil.
No, it's not a copy. It's a spinoff.
Yeah,
like it's the same mutagen. Like
instead of the foot, it's the hand.
Eyes,
yes,
it's going down the drain and making the turtles. It does both simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have the hand instead of the foot.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so we're bringing in the Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what I'm hearing.
I think what we're hearing is Pat needs to go watch the Netflix seasons, so to know.
Put it in the queue.
But yes, so the Hand is in that. So I think, I think there's a chance that Daredevil shows up, and I think it's possible that he shows up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. So
I have a feeling with Spider-Man, it's going to be he's turning into Man Spider, and you have he's going to turn into an anti-hero for a bit, and it's going to show how he's just dismantling all of these villains.
And he'll need a lawyer to do it. A really good lawyer. All right. Any final thoughts on this first episode of Daredevil Born Again?
Yeah, I will say, other than the final musical interlude there, the rest of the music was done very well throughout the show. It all if you listen to the music and the words, they do a very good job of matching it with what's going on the screen and kind of setting the tone. I think Whatever It Takes is the one we get opening up into BB's thing, or right after BB's thing, which is sort of like what the task force is all about, right? Whatever it takes.
Yeah. Anything else from you, Rob?
I'm just you know what? I am cautiously optimistic.
And that's for the multiverse of SQPN podcast.
Here's another show you like on the SQPN network. Secrets of Middle Earth.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for us on this episode, this first discussion of Daredevil. So we will be we'll be covering the full season week by week. So, we will have not watched ahead unless anything, unless they decide to drop lots of episodes all at once. I don't think that's going to happen. So we will be episode by episode, no spoilers, except what's already been released. So, all right. Well, that is it for this episode of The Secrets of Television. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons who make this show possible, including Spencer K, Kendrick B, Megan, Adolph E, and James G. Their generous donations make it possible for us to continue The Secrets of Television and all the shows at StarQuest. And you can join them by visiting GiveStarQuest.com. And be sure to follow the show, The Secrets of Television, in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite podcast app, or at the StarQuest YouTube channel at youtube.com/StarQuestMedia, where you should like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications. And you can find us on social media at Facebook.com/StarQuestMedia, or on X, where we are at SQPN, or on Instagram, where we are at StarQuest Network. And we'd love to hear from you. What did you think of the first episode of Daredevil Born Again Season 2? Let us know by commenting on the show posting at sqpn.com/TV, or on YouTube, or send us an email to tv@sqpn.com, or visit our channel on the StarQuest Discord server at sqpn.com/Discord. So we'll be back next time with our discussion of the double episodes of Daredevil Born Again, episodes 2 and 3. Until then, thank you, Patrick Mason, for joining me in sharing the secrets of Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's great to talk about these unlikely heroes.
And Rob Leonardi, thank you too.
Thank you, Jeff.
And once again, I'm Jeff Haecker. Thank you for listening to The Secrets of Television on StarQuest, and remember, I sure could take a punch a lot better 10 years ago.
Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy, The Catholics of Oz. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found, or at sqpn.com/Oz.